It was one of English football's darkest days. On May the 11th, 1985, fire broke out in the main stand at Bradford City's Valley Parade ground, killing 56 and injuring more than 200 people. Among those who survived was a 12-year-old boy who lost his father, his brother, his uncle and his grandfather.
My cap was on fire as I was dragged out. My soles of my trainers were scorched away afterwards. Thankfully, very brave people at the front of that stand, both police officers and supporters, as soon as I managed to make it to the front of that stand, lifted me, threw me over the wall, knocked my cap off, rolled me over the pitch.
30 years on, Martin Fletcher has written a book that raises questions he says were never considered by the police or a public inquiry. They centre on the club's then chairman, Stafford Higginbotham. On the left here with Sir Oliver Popplewell, who chaired the inquiry. After years of research, he's linked 8 other fires in the Bradford area to companies or premises owned by Mr Higginbotham, including one here at Douglas Mills. He says the businessman, who died in 1995, received millions of pounds in insurance payments and that the club was facing financial ruin.
It leads me to the conclusion that there must have been a failure of a rule of law at that time in 1985, because he was never challenged upon these facts when he was still with us, nor asked to explain those facts. And indeed, when you look at the history of his public explanations, they do not stand up to any sort of serious scrutiny.
Mr Higginbotham's family insists the claims are unfounded, and the Popplewell inquiry concluded the fire was an accident caused when a cigarette ignited rubbish underneath the stand.
I think it would be a waste of time and money. I think on the face of it, the coincidence is remarkable, but I think when one analyses it, it ceases to be.
In Bradford, the book has stirred painful memories. Janice McLean was a 19-year-old WPC who helped identify the dead. The first mother she met was Martin Fletcher's.
I remember being met with by Sue Fletcher with the photograph of her son, a school photograph. I remember that to this day. And to have to deal with the bereavement of 4 members of one family, that for me was the hardest thing ever. Never trained to deal with tragedy to that extent.
The Bradford fire helped shape the safe stadiums we enjoy today, but as the 30th anniversary nears, the survivors know the long shadow it still casts. Paul Kelso, Sky News.